This figure wasn't even on my radar, on my wish list of figures to purchase. But after seeing how this figure became trending on the internet on how bad she turned out to be, an absolute train wreck, I decided to buy one for myself just to see the figure on my own, how bad she turned out to be. Hello and welcome back to Excrogane Studio. Yes, this channel has been rebranded as Excrogane Studio. I'm Steven and today I'll be giving this price figure right here a review. As you can see, I'm trying to hold back my laughter over here. I decided to buy one for myself just to see the figure on my own, how bad she turned out to be, for some personal amusement and perhaps give her a review. So here we are with this figure review today. We are looking at a price figure of Gigi Andalucia from Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway by Bandai Spirits. Personally, I have not watched this Gundam series yet, so I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Is it Gigi or Gigi? Though for this particular figure right here, I think Gigi sounds more appropriate. Okay, so before we talk about this figure and what went so wrong, a bit of history with Bandai over here, right? So Bandai is no stranger to messing up figures of female anime characters. For some reason, they are consistently bad with female characters whenever it comes to making figures. I'm not sure of the exact reason why, but about half a decade ago, maybe even longer ago, there was this Bandai AGP series Armored Girls project of action figures, Mecha Musume, very similar to Mecha Musume. So there was this series of Infinite Stratos figures by Bandai. They were plagued with all kinds of quality control issues related to paint job. Those were not the only ones. There's a long list of issues involving Bandai female character figures. I have also reviewed a price figure by Bandai Spirits before, way before this, and that was Seiritsu no Hasan from Fate Grand Order, and that was also one of the worst price figures I have reviewed in recent memory. I purchased this figure of Gigi together with another Bandai Spirits figure of Masquerade, which is also notoriously bad. It is hot trash. Yeah, this one right here. But I will talk about this figure later on in a second video, so we shall concentrate on this one for now. Before that, we'll take a quick look at the official prototype photos and also the box and try to figure out what went so wrong with this figure. This is what her box looks like. The box is actually pretty nice, and what we're looking at, what's printed on the box, the figure is supposed to look really nice, though obviously the actual product is nothing like it. A number of my friends and even those commenting in my Facebook page, they said this looks like a Disney cartoon character, which I do agree. So something is really wrong with her eyes over here. I'm not really sure how to put it into words. There has been some figure collectors with the skills to do so. They took matters into their own hands and repainted the face of this figure. In this example over here, which someone sent it in the comments of my Facebook post, yeah, they changed her eyes altogether, and just by repainting her lips and recontouring the eyebrows, panel lining it and so on, her face does look so much better, though in my opinion, her face problem goes beyond her eyes alone because there is a fundamental issue going on with the sculpture of the figure's face or the head overall. So if we take a look back at the official product photos over here, which is printed on her box, so you see there aren't much shadows on her face, though this is also related to your lighting technique in photography. However, when you take a look at the actual product over here and you shine maybe just a table lamp from any angle of this figure, you notice that a lot of shadows form on her face. The reason for that is the grooves in her face, they are way too deep. It is a sculpture problem. For example, the eye sockets and around the bridge of her nose over here, the cheekbones, they are way deeper than they should be. So when you combine it with that pointy nose and those large eyes, when you shine light from any direction, you see a lot of deep shadows and they no longer look anything like those official product photos. So this is really an issue related to sculpture as well, and not just her eyes. When you put aside her face problems, everywhere else about this figure, they are just typical price figure standard. The paintwork on her dress is actually okay, though they should be, because it is so simple. And other issues with the sculpt, this is something you see on almost every press figure. Mold lines along the sides of the figure. It is very obvious on her legs, but this is just average. I have seen better mold lines, better hidden ones than what we're looking at with this figure over here. The paintwork on her hair is also okay. There really isn't much to complain about. You do see some mold lines once again. And yeah, the seam lines underneath around her underwear, not very nice either, but what do you expect for a price figure, right? I do like the pose of this figure, to be honest, very photogenic if you ask me, but unfortunately the face ruins everything. And lastly, for the base of this figure, well, this is an unusually small base for any figure, not just price figures. And it can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on a personal point of view. On one side, this kind of tiny base, they really do help you save space on the shelf. So this figure does not take up much space on the shelf, but at the same time, this is not very secure, not very stable. Just one tap and the figure flips over, topples over. So it really depends whether you like small bases or large bases on a figure. So what are my conclusions for this figure of Gigi Andalucia from Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway? Yeah, of course I'm going to tell you not to buy one unless you want one just for personal amusement, then by all means go ahead. This is not a good purchase at all. This figure really cost me as much as a good meal with a date perhaps, right? Not too bad at all. I would argue that this price figure of Marsh Kirilite by Bandai Spirits as well is way worse than this figure of Gigi Andalucia, but we shall look at this figure later on in the second video. So that is all about the review of this figure of Gigi Andalucia. What do you think about this figure? Please do let me know down in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again soon. Goodbye.